6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Peris and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The restrictions to limit interprovincial movement to be extended for a period of 14 days from tomorrow. 1 Grama Niladhari division isolated and 5 divisions freed. The COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka is on the rise. 14 new patients detected with the Delta variant. Sri Lanka's vaccine drive continues. The SLBC says 4.1 million vaccine doses imported to date. In international news, Philippines military plane crash kills at least 29, but many survive. In sports, cricket, England stifles Sri Lanka's innings in the third ODI at Bristol, England. The Health Ministry has issued revised guidelines to be followed by the people with effect from tomorrow to July 19th. Interprovincial movement restrictions will remain unchanged for another 14 days. Though the restrictions prevailed for the last 14 days have been relaxed, some additional moderate-level restrictions will be remaining in the Western Province as precautionary measures in view of further containing the infections of COVID-19. The restrictions will be reviewed after 14 days from tomorrow. The public is urged to strictly comply with the guidelines issued for the permitted levels of functions. The National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak announces that the Sagaradhaniyavatta area in the Yatiyavala Grama Niladhari division in the Katugastota police area in Kandy was brought under isolation this morning with immediate effect. Meanwhile, isolation was lifted in several areas across 5 Grama Niladhari divisions in Kalutara, Batikalo and Nuwara at 6 p.m. today. According to the NOCPCO, the Mahavaskaduva South and Periya Kallaru 2 Grama Niladhari divisions in the Kalutara district, the Periya Kallaru 3 and the Periya Kallaru 3 South Grama Niladhari divisions in Kalavanchikudi in the Batikalo district, and the Beramana South Grama Niladhari division in the Nuwara district have been freed from isolation. The number of COVID-19 recoveries recorded in the country has increased to 233,317. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said 1,923 COVID-19 patients were discharged from hospitals today. The number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country rose to 264,057 following the detection of 1,262 patients yesterday. 27,549 persons are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at several facilities across the country. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
$63,704 coronavirus vaccines were administered in Sri Lanka yesterday. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said the second dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine was administered to 780 persons. A total of 384,047 persons have received both doses of the Covishield vaccine. Meanwhile, the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine was given to 34,915 persons, while the second jab was administered to 28,071 individuals yesterday. 1,911,208 persons have been administered with the first Sinopharm vaccine jab, while 836,814 individuals have been fully vaccinated with the Sinopharm dose thus far. Once again, 1,911,208 persons have been administered with the first Sinopharm vaccine jab, while 836,814 individuals have been fully vaccinated with the Sinopharm dose thus far. The State Pharmaceuticals Corporation says 4.1 million coronavirus vaccine doses have been imported to Sri Lanka thus far. The General Manager of the SPC, Dinusha Dasanayaka, said 1.1 million vaccine doses were donated by the Chinese government, while the remaining 3 million were purchased by the government. Another stock of 1 million doses of the Chinese-manufactured Sinopharm vaccine doses arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport this morning. The SPC has already procured another 2 million doses that are due to arrive in Sri Lanka later in July. Moreover, Sri Lanka will become the first South Asian country to purchase the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine when 200,000 doses are scheduled to arrive in the island tomorrow. The government has taken steps to allow divisional secretaries to issue permits to transport up to 3 cubes of clay monthly. The Secretary of the State Ministry of Brass, Furniture and Rural Industry, Vijitha Bandaranaike, said the decision was taken after considering a request by individuals in the clay products manufacturing industry. Prior to this, individuals required the permission of the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau to transport more than 1 cube of clay. Therefore, Secretary Vijitha Bandaranaike noted a decision was taken to allow the divisional secretaries to issue permits, as those in the industry claim they face various hardships due to this regulation. Emirates Airlines will be suspending the carriage of passengers from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Pakistan to Dubai until July 15, 2021. Passengers who have connected through Pakistan, Bangladesh or Sri Lanka in the last 14 days will not be accepted to travel from any other point to the UAE. Meanwhile, Dubai's Emirates Airlines on Tuesday said effective from the 30th of June until the 13th of July, customers will not be accepted for travel on Emirates to Colombo if they have been in the following countries for the past 14 days: the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain and Kuwait. This restriction does not apply to passengers who have transited in the aforementioned countries without leaving the airport's transit area. Under the directives and guidelines given by the Chief of Defence Staff and Army Commander General Shavendra Silva, the Sri Lanka Army has launched a house construction project for the less fortunate in Kilinochchi. Accordingly, the Army states that at present, 6 houses are under construction in view of uplifting the living standards of the most affected sections of society while promoting reconciliation. That's local news.
The largest bonus declared in the history of the Sri Lankan insurance industry. Sri Lanka Insurance Grand Bonus, an unmatchable bonus of 8.6 billion rupees only for Sri Lanka Insurance life policy holders from the nation's largest insurer. Call 0112-357-357 for more details. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The President of the Sri Lanka Medical Association, Dr. Padma Gunaratne, says a total of 14 new cases of the Indian variant known as Delta have been reported in the country. It was reported that patients have been identified in the districts of Colombo, Gala, Matara and Trincomalee. These patients were confirmed to have been infected with the Delta variant after genetic sequencing was carried out on 142 samples obtained island-wide.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the Department of Registration of Persons will be open to the public from July 5th only for a limited number of applicants who have received an assigned time and a number. Applicants wishing to visit the Battaramulla head office or the provincial office to obtain the national identity card should make an appointment by calling the following telephone numbers. For the Battaramulla head office, 011 522 6126 or 011 522 6100. For the Southern Provincial Office, 091 222 8348. For the Northwestern Provincial Office, 037 222 4337. For the North Provincial Office, 024 222 7201. For the Eastern Provincial Office, 065 222 9449. Once again, the Department of Registration of Persons will be open to the public from July 5th only for a limited number of applicants who have received an assigned time and a number. Applicants wishing to visit the Battaramulla head office or the provincial office to obtain the national identity card should make an appointment by calling the following telephone numbers. For the Battaramulla head office, 011 522 6126 or 011 522 6100. For the Southern Provincial Office, 091 222 8348. For the Northwestern Provincial Office, 037 222 4337. For the Northern Provincial Office, 024 222 7201. For the Eastern Provincial Office, 065 222 9449. That came to you in Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. A military plane transporting troops crashes in the Philippines. Rescue efforts resumed after deadly mudslide near Tokyo. Search efforts suspended ahead of demolition of the partially collapsed apartment block near Miami. At least 29 people have died and 50 survivors have been taken to hospital after a military plane transporting troops crashed in the southern Philippines. The Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenza said in a statement at least 92 people, most of them army personnel, were on board the C-130 Hercules transport aircraft when it crashed as it tried to land on Jolo Island in Sulu province around midday today. The Lockheed C-130 Hercules was one of two ex-US Air Force aircraft handed over to the Philippines as part of military assistance this year. Rescue workers have resumed their search and rescue operations after huge mudslides swept away houses near Tokyo. Torrential rain has been lashing areas along the country's Pacific coast since early yesterday. Continuous rain had forced rescuers to suspend operations for half an hour today. There have been scenes of devastation in the Atami city in the Shizuoka prefecture. About 1,000 personnel from the self-defense forces and the police are joining the search and rescue operation. Search efforts for possible survivors in the rubble of a partially collapsed apartment block near Miami have been suspended ahead of the controlled demolition of the rest of the building. Teams are preparing to bring down the remaining structure using explosives. The demolition of Champlain Towers South was brought forward over safety fears due to an approaching storm. Part of the 12-story block collapsed on the 24th of June. 24 people are known to have died and 121 are missing. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. A military plane transporting troops crashes in the Philippines. Rescue efforts resumed after deadly mudslide near Tokyo. Search efforts suspended ahead of demolition of the partially collapsed apartment block near Miami. That was world news, and now in development news. Tourism and Civil Aviation Minister Prasanna Ranatunga visited the Batticaloa domestic airport and pledged to redevelop and upgrade it and give it a much-needed facelift for the convenience of tourists, both local and foreign. During his visit, Minister Ranatunga advised officials to prepare a suitable plan for this purpose and to list the basic facilities required for air operations. The Tourism Minister further said the Batticaloa Airport should be developed as an attractive travel destination for tourists while developing the Eastern Province as a tourist destination. The funds to be allocated for the redevelopment is yet to be announced. That was development news, and now in sports news in cricket. The third ODI Sri Lanka tour of England got underway in Bristol, England. England won the toss and put Sri Lanka into bat. Sri Lankan batting line-up slumped to 127 runs with a loss of 8 wickets a short while ago. 2 wickets each for Chris Woakes and David Wiley, with the new ball stifled Sri Lanka's innings so far. Tom Curran also struck thrice for just 21 runs. England is 2 up in the 3-game series. In football news, Harry Kane scored twice as England cruised through to the semi-finals of Euro 2020 with a one-sided 4 win over Ukraine in Rome on Saturday. Kane ended a worrying international scoring drought by netting in the last 16 defeat of Germany in midweek, and he put England ahead inside 4 minutes on a sweaty evening in the Italian capital. Denmark lie in wait in the Wembley semi-final on Wednesday, and England will be confident of going on to reach a first-ever European Championship final, and even now claiming a first major international title since 1966. That was Sports News.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka Insurance is proud to declare the largest ever life insurance bonus in the country, amounting to a staggering 8.6 billion rupees for the year 2020 to its life insurance policyholders, recording the largest life insurance bonus ever to be declared in the insurance industry in Sri Lanka. A record total of life insurance bonuses were declared to policyholders since 2005, amounting to 73.2 billion rupees. Sri Lanka Insurance policyholders can download their bonus certificate from the SLIC mobile app available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Colombo Stock Exchange and the CHEC Port City Colombo signed a memorandum of understanding to enhance the capital markets in Sri Lanka by taking advantage of the Port City Colombo's special emphasis at the Colombo International Financial Centre in order to establish a region-recognized financial exchange within the country's borders. The MOU was signed with the objective of working on a collective mission to establish an international multi-currency exchange within the Port City of Colombo. The exchange will serve as a gateway for both regional and global investors, whilst also providing an ideal platform for Sri Lankan and overseas corporates to issue foreign currency bonds and equities.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department has issued an advisory for torrential rains and gusty winds in the southwestern parts of the country. Accordingly, heavy showers or thundershowers above 100 millimeters can be expected, particularly in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts today. The Met Department has urged the public to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by strong winds associated with the thundershowers and lightning.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The restrictions to limit interprovincial movement to be extended for a period of 14 days from tomorrow. 1 Grama Nirdhari division isolated and 5 divisions freed. The COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka is on the rise. 14 new patients detected with the Delta variant. Sri Lanka's vaccine drive continues. The SPC says 4.1 million vaccine doses imported to date. In international news, the Philippines military plane crash kills at least 29, but many survive. In sports cricket, England stifles Sri Lanka's innings in the third ODI at Bristol, England.